We're going live.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? It's Eagle Talks Football. We're back again with another video. Today, what we got to talk about is Ian Wright and the backlash after his remarks about Bukayo Saka and Cole-Palmer. In addition to that, we're going to talk about Emile Smith-Rowe could be sold for a club record 40 million. Yeah, apparently that's a club record. Also, we're going to have to talk about Alexander Isak to Chelsea, Onana once again. This time we're gonna have Deo and Kunle speak about Onana, see if they can convince each other which one's right. Also, we're linked to a new goalkeeper, Joan Garcia Pons. Never heard of him in my life, but it sounds interesting. And there's also Pedro Neto talks, Thomas Partey talks, and it just looks like we're trying to revamp the whole bench. I like that. I like to hear that we're trying to revamp the whole bench. But hey, let's get this show started. Hope everyone's well. Do me a favor. Please do hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Kunle, how you doing, man?
Oh, yeah, now, my people. It's your dark-skinned man from the motherland. If you didn't know before, tonight you go understand. I'm good, bro. Smash the likes, my people. If you're watching it now or on the replay, make sure you smash the likes. If you haven't subscribed, do the needful right now. I'm good, though. I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good, man. Before we get into all the transfer news and everything else, people, do me a favor. Please do let me know if you've seen that little controversial comment from Ian Wright. We're going to get into all of that in a second. We got Deo joining us any moment now, as I just see him backstage right now. And also, if you guys are here, please do hit that like button. It's absolutely free. It takes 1 second and helps out the channel massively. So please do that right now, as we are live now. And I just want to make sure that you guys please do hit that like button for the brother. But before we go any further, I'm just going to say, I don't know about you, Kunle, but I'm kind of bored of the Euros, man. I'm kind of bored of the Euros. It just seems like everyone's just talking agendas every 2 seconds. Bro, it's starting to get annoying. The Euros is getting annoying.
Unpopular opinion, which I know some people are going to get crazy about now.
AFCON's better, bro.
AFCON is better, yeah. Thank you. You know it. So far, the Euros are going to have to go crazy in this knockout stages to impress me. Because so far, it's not got to the level of AFCON for me. Excitement,
bro.
Goals.
It has been media at best. But yo, what you saying? Deo? You there?
I'm here, man, dude. I hadn't looked at my phone all day. Igal, you forgive me.
Don't worry. We are going to educate you on everything you're missing out on. By the way, the Arsenal fan base has lost their mind on Ian Wright today. Have you heard what happened?
What happened?
The
Arsenal fan base, you got people saying cancel Ian Wright. You got people coming out here talking about Chelsea fans. You got people coming out here saying, on the behalf of Arsenal fans, we denounce Ian Wright as our legend.
What did he say? What happened? What did Ian Wright say?
Bro, you got people coming out here.
You
got people coming out here moving mad. This is what they're saying. He's a disgrace for his comments. You got people moving crazy.
What was his comments though?
Let me show you. This was his comments. Ian Wright on Saka, with how natural left-sided Saka is. Can we put Saka at left back and Palmer on the right side?
But Saka's hold on. But Saka has played. Hold on. But Saka has played left back in his career before, and he played very well in left back. If that's what works for England as a nation, because you have to realize that when you're playing as a country, just because you play on a position in your club and that works for the coach in your club and how you want to play, you guys might not be how it works for your country. We saw Julius Nagelsmann play what's his name, Kai Havertz in left back in the qualifiers for the Euros. We saw him play Kai Havertz.
Let me I just want to help this situation because I know what's going on. Really, let me just let you know. What's happening now is that the whole world of banter has taken over reality, isn't it? That's True. The reality. So like everyone is just on edge at all times. So for me, if the fact that people are laughing that Saka plays left back, I don't get the joke considering he broke into the Arsenal team as a left back. And the stupidity of Gareth Southgate to not take not one fit left-footed defender, period. in this squad. Not one fit left-footed defender in this squad. So if you're telling me Saka can fill in that role because of that misstep by Southgate, because if Tyrese Mitchell was in this squad, we won't be talking about Saka playing left back at all, and they'd be praying and begging for him to maybe replace Cole-Palmer. But in this scenario, it's what obviously Trippier is not working at left back, so you need another solution, and there's no other real left-footed solution in the squad. So if they're talking about balance, I don't mind it. I actually don't mind it.
And the thing is that as a left back, he could play left wing back actually, and with that he can always go forward. And Saka defensively is good. Go look at his stats.
But when the players playing in multiple positions become a diss, become banter.
I'm just gonna stop here. One second. I fully disagree with what Ian Wright said, but I'm not taking it to the level of. 1 second. I fully disagree with what Ian Wright said, but I'm not taking it to the full level of what Jeffrey's saying, calling him a crocodile, calling Gallus a crocodile, but Ian Wright a friend. But you don't. But he's one of the most dangerous people because he's lethal behind the scenes. That's a madness. We're taking it too far now. You're my guy.
No, but see, Igal, let's be realistic. Any fan, and everybody has the right to their opinion, so I can't tell people how to react to whatever it is that they read. But just on the face value of it, on a very basic level, Ian Wright saying Saka can play left back for England tells you how much he even trusts that the boy is capable of doing more than he does on the right.
1 second.
No, listen, a lot of Arsenal fan base have set their minds that Saka is the best right winger. He's the best right winger in the world, and they don't want to see him as anything else again. And I'm not saying him playing left back is going to, it's like, this is me saying you can put Saka anywhere on the pitch and he'll perform on the same level or more. Like, that is the player that we have in Saka, literally. But we want to box him as fans. And then when somebody offers a suggestion, this is a tournament for your country. It's going to be done in 7 to 9 games that you play. That's even if you qualify to the final. It's like
I can't like. I'm glad I'm on this.
Let me just say this. 1 second. First things first. Right? First things first. Bukayo Saka misses a penalty. People say he let the country down. Bukayo Saka comes on for 20 minutes. There's a situation where the team loses. They make him the face of defeats. These things are unforgivable, right? The way that people treat him. Now, I feel like with those comments, you're trying to find a solution for the attack, and you're trying to take out your second best attacker, put him at left back, when you have other players you can actually play at left back. Also, don't forget, Foden is now out, and he's not going to be playing most likely in the next game because he flew back to England for the birth of his child or something like that. And what's the chance of him getting back in time to play on Sunday? I don't know, but it could be unlikely. He could make it. Who knows? But at this moment in time, you're telling me that out of every solution to fix the attack, your solution is to make sure you put Cole-Palmer on the right, take Saka, put him as left back, because you don't because Southgate didn't take any proper left back. No, that is not the solution. The solution is play Kobe Mainu in the midfield, play Trent to give you an actual creative outlet at right back instead of Kyle Walker, who's useless when you're facing teams that don't really attack down the right hand side. And then when we talk about the left side, the reason why the left side's unbalanced, let's keep it real. It's imbalanced because you have 2 10s in the team. Pick one, Jude or Foden. Luckily for you, you now don't have to make that decision. Foden is out of the picture. You can play Anthony Gordon on the left side. And if you don't have a proper left back, go put Joe Gomez there or play Kyle Walker there. I don't care. It does not make sense. It does not make sense.
Let me have a go first.
It does not make sense trying to shoehorn Bukayo Saka as a left back when he is arguably one of the best right wingers in world football. And if you want to say, you know what, we need another dynamic on the left side, put him as left wing. To say put him as left back, I think is utterly ignorant and disrespectful.
How is it disrespectful?
No, wait, hold on. Please, let me handle it, please. Because Igal, you said something that was crazy to me. Respectfully, you said the solution is your solution. That's not the solution. That's a solution. And I agree with that. What you're saying is a solution. But in terms of Saka can play. Look, I wouldn't pick Saka at left back because my team would be a little bit different to what fans are calling for. But I can see it working also, because Trippier gave England nothing on that left side in the attacking threat. Saka will hug the wing. He's not an inverted. Doesn't know how to play inverted as a fullback, so he's going to hug the wing, get whip crosses in, and I think people are forgetting how good Saka is at crossing. If we get Ollie Watkins in the box, that'd be great for England. And it's not really about putting your best attacker left back and looking at it like that. I'm looking at it like England needs something else. So they're throwing out solutions, and it's not like Saka's never played in that position before, and he's played in that position very well. I think he's even played left wing back once for England as well, if I'm correct. So I wouldn't pick that lineup, but I don't think it's disrespectful to be asking a professional footballer to sacrifice for the beauty of his country for a game or two. And I don't believe he'd be even in this situation if Gareth Southgate wasn't an idiot and brought only one injured left back with him. That's the situation we put him into. Because if England have left-footed left backs, we're not even entertaining this conversation throughout the whole Euros. But because of Gareth Southgate's mishap, is why we're here. And I believe it's a solution, but it's not necessarily my solution.
And that's what I was just saying to him. Like, now that I've heard this, I just said to myself, look, it is not this. So let me ask you a question. If people say it is disrespectful for him to put one of the best right wingers in the world as left back, this same right winger broke into the Arsenal team as a left back. This same right winger. So is it now disrespectful for us to say, oh, why did Arteta take one of our best left backs, which was Saka at the time when he started, and go keep him right wing? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, he's a professional footballer. We love him. He's our boy from our club, but he's a professional. And the fact that they can look at the squad and say, we know you can perform on the right better than Cole Palmer. That's why Palmer is on the bench. But right now, we want to try something else. Palmer is 75%. You are 95%. But you can also be 85% in left back. I want you to play that for me. Let me put this on 75% here. Hopefully, he'll perform. Maybe he'll do something. In the meantime, I need you on the left to strengthen my left-hand side. That's a lot of responsibility. Now, I get it. Fans always want to rage. Just like you said, Kunle, everybody's all about banter now. The minute somebody says something, nobody wants to actually discuss the merits of what it is. You know? So I for one, you know, being the fact that he's played left back in his career, I don't think that that's an insult.
I don't think the right-hand side was a problem. If you want to say replace Saka for Palmer, fair. I don't even fault that. If you want to play Palmer over Saka, I don't mind. Do as you wish. But then you're going to now have 3 10s and no out-and-out winger in the team.
But it's a different style of playing.
No. He's no Anthony Gordon is an out-and-out winger. So what are you talking about?
No, you're going to play Anthony Gordon over Foden now.
Of course.
Foden is left. Foden is left. Foden is not there. I'll play Anthony Gordon. There's no Foden
told us that Foden's not there as well.
Yeah, so
Foden is expecting a baby,
for
so he's gone home.
Listen, we got Brendan in the chat saying this is what is so outrageous, suggesting that Saka a left back. Football fans are laughable these days.
I don't know.
But you know what it is?
To me, the reaction. I think
this is why people are going crazy. Is because if you bring up what's his name's comment, there's a comment. Animashes Yemi, guys, you are missing the point. Bring up that comment.
Reactions.
Go to that.
Look at the reactions though. The reactions. I want to show you the reactions from the Arsenal fans, because this is what he said actually. With how natural the left-sided Saka is, he can play left back. Cole Palmer can play on the right side. That was his solution, right? The reaction. So
that was his suggestion, not the solution. You see, this is another thing. A man makes a suggestion. It doesn't mean it has to be taken. People can simply say, "Oh, you know, Saka's played left back in his career." And really, he's been playing on the right for longer, so I don't think that's a good suggestion. What if we try this?
Ian Wright is an embarrassment for suggesting on live television that Saka should play left back while Cole Palmer takes the right wing position. Another one here. I love the kid. Every opportunity throw what under the bus in front of his white colleagues. What?
This is crazy. This is so crazy. Like
it's everyone's so
but you know what it is, Iga? What it is there's 2 sides of the suggestion. I think that's what it is. The suggestion says one side are like myself and Dio that are seeing this is an option. It's not necessarily our option, but this is definitely an option considering he can play there as well. But there's a group of fans that are making that suggestion as banter. Why don't we just put Saka left back? Like, and that's what's really getting to the Arsenal fan base. That side of the fans that say, "Oh, let's throw him at left back," and because they're taking it personally. Like, who? First of all, I don't care because I don't support England. I prefer him to go home, if I'm honest. Do you get what I'm saying? But if England, because of Southgate, is so stupid and he didn't bring any left backs, it's an unfortunate scenario. But Ian Wright, I think Ian Wright's looking at it as like, I don't want to think of an England starting lineup without Bukayo Saka, but I'd like to also see Cole Palmer. And because of how badly England have performed in this structure, this setup, he's exploring new options because whatever Southgate's doing is currently not working. So I'm not mad at him for making a suggestion because it's Starboy Saka, the Arsenal fan base are riled up. I guarantee you the majority of fans that are riled up are from the social media era. Fans that came before that, I'm pretty sure they have a more logical stance on it. No offense to you guys, but I think this social media era, the banter thing is just overtaking facts, and footballers can play in multiple positions. Sometimes you have to make sacrifices for the team.
Like Kule, imagine playing Saka left back, and then by the end of the tournament, he has like the most assists because he's overlapping and just crossing balls in. Like because right now, even on the right wing, England is not performing. The front line is not doing nothing right now. So
Bro, England had to play Wayne Bridge left midfield because they didn't have any left-footed left midfielders back in the day. Like, but who cares? You try and find solutions for situations. It works.
It's Gareth Southgate's problem, though. That's his problem. He has to figure out how to make the team work because at the end of the day, my thing is talented players, and
I'm not outraged by what Ian Wright said. I just think it was a silly suggestion to be made on live television. And you know what? It is his job to give suggestions.
Why is it silly?
Was a silly suggestion. I think
left back. No, you gotta explain this to me.
Let me explain. Because we all know the real root cause of the issue is Southgate's selections, of lack of selection for a left back, number one. Number two, we know that he didn't take Rashford. He didn't take some of the players that people felt like should have been on there. And for once, he picked players on form. And the players that he picked on form, they've not really played too well with each other. This England team seems more like an all-star team than it does an actual team. And that's down to Southgate. And he has not gotten any criticism. They've laid criticism at Jude Bellingham's door. They've laid criticism at Raheem Sterling, at Saka's door. They've laid criticism at Trent's door. They've laid criticism at Kane and Foden. But not once have I seen any of these people go on live television and lay the blame on the manager. And that's who the real criticism should be held at.
See, but that's what hold on. I agree
that the root of this suggestion is Southgate's squad selection. I agree with that. But that's what we're in. That's the situation we're in now.
Let me ask you a question, right? Let's say your boat is sinking. Gareth Southgate has taken the boat out to ocean that is sinking, right? And just because one guy at the front, if we move him to the back, it makes no difference. This boat is sinking. We just have to figure a way to get it to shore before everybody in this boat dies. Why will I be mad that you need to try something different? I won't be, because at this point, your selection to go to the Euros was terrible.
Brendan, check your WhatsApp.
So you already your selection was terrible. The boys are not playing very well together. You don't have anybody to play in the right position. You've always been a lucky fumble and wumble coach to the final, and here you go. You just need to try something different. And in suggesting that they try something different, that is not disrespectful. That is just saying, look, right now, this team cannot do without playing Bukayo Saka in one position or the other. We don't care, because he will perform in that position. Somehow, some way, hopefully, that will make it work.
Daya, tell me how many fans were outraged when Pep moved Lahm from right back to defensive midfield? How many people were outraged by that? Like, what are we doing here, bro? Like, come on, look. But it's so crazy. Players playing multiple positions. Who gives a shit? My England lineup would have been different. Maybe that's like my solution to this problem is different to Southgate's. But the lack of left backs means that this is a viable option, considering he's played there. He broke into Arsenal in that position, and as a quality player, That's the one player he trusts in the squad to be able to play out of position to sacrifice for the team. That, if anything, you should be praising Saka for even being that player, because there's loads of players that could be played out of position. If Palmer plays at left back, is he going to put the same shift in as Saka is? No, of course not. So that's why they're not suggesting. Saka is versatile. He can fit in multiple roles. My England back four would have probably been Gomez, Gahey, Stones, and Trent, and then put Kobe Mino and Rice in the pivot, and Palmer in the middle, Saka on the right.
Look at what Vader's doing. Well. Uncle Righty isn't the favorite of Arsenal fans right now. Yo, some people
these are the shallow Arsenal fans.
He's the reason I support Arsenal, so I'll always have his back.
I'm telling you, these fans that are losing their mind are just the baby shallow-minded, lack of thinking era fans. And I will say to their faces, any Arsenal fan that wants to say that what Ian Wright suggested, and I know why they're saying this, because Ian Wright suggested that we put Palmer on the right. And here's the problem. Suggesting that they put Palmer on the right, all of a sudden they want to banter because of this whole Palmer is better than Saka. Saka is better than Palmer. Oh no, why are they telling us to put him in the left back? These fans should cut it out, man. Just cut it out. It is the dumbest thing. Like Saka broke into the team at the left back. We already know.
Let me hear from Brendan. Brendan was watching it. He's like, I have to get into this.
Brendan, before you come in, I'm not going to lie. I would love for Saka to play left back and get man of the match and set up the winning goal just to shut everyone up. Because, anyway, carry on, Brendan. Do your thing. Big up.
Thing is, right, I agree with everything that all of you just said. The biggest problem with this England side isn't the quality, isn't the fact that the players can't play together. It's balance. Yeah, Southgate has not got the balance correct. You're right You're all right in exactly what you said. We haven't brought a fit left back at all. It's an absolute disgrace that he didn't at least consider Tyreek Mitchell. Considering Luke Shaw's been out all season, he's decided to go with Kieran Trippier, right? But there is a solution to this, and it is staring us all in the face, right? He's going with this 4-3-3 formation. It doesn't work, right? Because in order to get Bellingham in his preferred position, he's having to shoehorn Foden out wide, right? To bring Foden in centrally, last night he shoehorned Bellingham out wide, right?
Wait, do you think that's Bellingham's favoured position, Brendan?
No. The solution to it is staring us all in the face, right? What Ian Wright said isn't too far from the truth. The only difference is I wouldn't play Saka at left back, right? I would play with a back three, play Saka as a left wing back, play Trent as a right wing back, have your back three as Gahey, Walker and Stones, right? Then you have Declan Rice doing the holding job in midfield. You have Bellingham and Foden picking up central areas in the midfield. And then you play with a front two of Harry Kane and Watkins. So Harry Kane can also drop deep. Watkins can run by him. Saka and Trent can offer the width, right? And while Saka and Trent are going up the pitch, Declan Rice can fill in and become a back four when we are attacking, right? So effectively, we go from a back five to a back four when we've got the ball. When we haven't got the ball, we then become a back five. It's not that. It's not that outrageous to suggest that is probably the best solution for the balance of this English team. I don't think it's a case of like Ian Wright was.
Do you think it's disrespectful to call for Saka to be left back, play left back?
No, not really.
Okay, no. Brendan, don't answer that question, because do you think was it disrespectful for Pep to play Bernardo Silva left back against us?
I don't think it's a case of being disrespectful. I think it's
exactly
looking at it from a perspective of that left-hand side for England has been absolutely atrocious, right? We have no natural left footer in this squad apart from Bukayo Saka. The only way
Anthony Gordon.
Yeah, Anthony Gordon. He's not really left-footed though, is he? I mean, he is, but he can kind of use both.
I think he's right-footed. You're right. Yeah.
But I also look at it and think, right, the biggest problem with this England team as well is we lack width. Like the amount of times that I see England passive with the ball, You know, taking too many touches, not like yesterday, right? For example, all Slovenia did was park 10 men behind the ball and say, look, come and break us down. And we couldn't break them down because all our players want to pick up central areas. Even Bukayo Saka, when he's playing on the right, he wants to come inside. Everybody.
Okay, let me ask you this though. England have been poor on the left side. The reason why they've been good on the right side is because of Saka.
Yeah.
Taking Saka out of the right side and putting him on the left, doesn't that just create more problems for you?
Not necessarily.
Depends on how you balance the team, though. Brandon, one second.
Yeah.
Brandon, 1 second. Let me say something real quick.
Because I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it as he's not the problem. Find a solution for
the balance of the team is the problem. And if it means shuffling people around to balance the team, that's what you do as a manager. For you to say, hold on, Igal, hold on. For you to say the right side is working, right? Okay, the right side is working, but the whole left side is tilted. All the weight, hold on, all the weight. Hold on. It's not just one player. It cannot just be one player. Trippier. Okay, let me ask you a question. Is Palmer not left-footed? Why don't they trust him to go play left back? Because they know he can't perform there. Palmer is left-footed. Why don't they trust him to go play left wing?
Why don't they ask him to play left wing?
Hear what I'm saying? Because they've seen him, he can't perform there. Why is it that Saka has a lot of responsibilities in any team that he's in? It's because the boy is versatile, he's a professional, and he will step up to the plate on anywhere you put him on the pitch and get the job done. That's a big difference.
I think as well, when you hear
imagine being laughed at for being an England international and in the starting 11, no matter what fucking position you're in. Like, imagine being laughed at by fans that don't play.
My main issue is I feel like Bukayo Saka is being set up to become the scapegoat. If they play him out of position and he has a bad game in that position, he will be the one that's criticized. He will be the one that let the country down. He will be the one that was set up for failure.
You played me out of position. You played me out of position.
You take a player. To me, I'm just forget about the balance for a second. I'm just listen to what I'm saying. You take one of your best attacking options, one of your best goal scorers for England. You take him out of his position to put him in a defensive position to balance the team, and then you end up losing because of defensive lapses.
What if they end up winning? What if they end up winning? What if Saka
scored? They should be winning.
Hold on. Hold on. Igal, I'm asking you. What if they put Saka left wing back? Saka gives the assist. England wins in the final. Let's just assume it happens. What would you say then? Because you're only looking because you're only looking at one side of the spectrum. There's two sides of the spectrum in anything that you do to balance things out in life. If you are thinking only of the fact that they're trying to set Saka up, it means you're already being overprotective about the boy. The fact that Saka started at left back in Arsenal and was our best left back at the time that we had in that period. The fact that
you would never
hold on. The fact that Arteta took him and turned him to a right winger. I at first was like, what is Arteta doing? Why is this boy on the right wing? He's our best left back. Who are we going to put here now? All of a sudden, we see him transformed, playing very well on the right wing. All right, great stuff. If you need to balance a team out, you balance a team out.
Yeah, again,
that's what you need to do.
It's
for one game, or it's a tactic.
If
Havertz played left back for Germany in the qualifiers,
listen, if you was to go with that same suggestion I made, back three, Saka left wing back, Trent right wing back, right? Look at the width that it's going to offer us. Trent at Liverpool is rated so highly, not because he can defend, not because of anything else, but because of the width that he offers them and the balls that he can put in the box. I haven't seen England try that once in this entire tournament, right? Now, when you say about putting Bukayo Saka in a defensive position, let's be real now, right? Look at the side of the draw that England are on, right? We are expected to dominate the ball against these teams that we're going to be coming up against, and we will dominate the ball. So we're going to have the majority of the possession. So although it sounds like Saka's going to be in a defensive position by playing left wing back, he's not. He's still in an attacking role. He's just on the left-hand side and not the right. Do you see what I mean? And because he's naturally left-footed as well, I actually think he'll be more dangerous on the left as well, because he'll be not just cutting inside all the time like he does. He'll actually be taking his man on, whipping balls in the box, giving Harry Kane some service, giving Ollie Watkins some service, you know. And then you've got the likes of Foden, you've got the likes of Bellingham and Rice, who can control the midfield, pick up the central areas that they want to pick up. It's absolutely staring Gareth Southgate in the face the solution to this, right? It is so annoying how obvious it is. But this guy won't do it because he's fucking useless. Let's be real about it, right?
Fair enough.
England are going.
Boys, we only have 20 more minutes before I gotta wrap this up, so I'm just gonna switch topics quickly. We gotta talk about 2 topics, Isak and everything else. But before Kunle goes, I know Kunle's gotta go, and Brendan, since you're here, I need to get your opinion on this also, guys. Are you guys in or out on Onana to Arsenal? Let me know.
Yeah, that same face Brendan's putting, that's where I'm at. You're not a no. You're not. I know you're not a no, Brendan, but you're not like a excited yes, are you? Just like me, kind of. You take him, but we can do much better from where we're at.
Would you be okay with him missing out on him for and Bayern Munich signing him?
Do you know what it is? You know what it is? I've noticed something about Declan Rice, and I don't want to tar players with any kind of brush because they're playing for England, and we know that they're capable of better performances than what they've showed us. But something that I've kind of noticed from Declan Rice, even at Arsenal this season, he needs a good midfield partner in order to exceed, right? When he had Kai Havertz playing with him in midfield, he wasn't. He was okay, but he wasn't the Declan Rice that we saw mainly towards the end of the season when he had a good midfield partner in there. I think if you partner him with somebody like Onana, and allow Declan Rice to, push forward like he does or like he has been doing for Arsenal, let Onana do the, the breaking up of play, etc., and then you've got Odegaard in front. I think that's probably the type of profile of player that we do need to have next to Declan Rice. Whether it's Onana or not, I don't know. I mean, like, it's one of them names where it doesn't really, you don't really.
Yeah, like for example,
you see, this is
okay, hold on quickly. But like, for example, if we had, okay,
so we can move on. Big up to you. Thank you for the super chat. I think it's the fact that Saka can play left back speaks to his versatility as a player. It would be amazing if England make a good run with Saka at left back. Okay, fair enough. Continue. Big up to you for super chat.
You see Onana, right? It's not like, so let's say Douglas Luiz goes to Juventus and we don't end up getting him. I'll be more pissed off at missing out there than at Onana. Look, if you offer me Onana, I'll take him. But even if you watched him today, for me, he looks like he has size 18 feet. He's so clumsy. He's clumsy on the ball when he's driving, man. I mean, he's decent, but he's just decent. Decent passer, yeah.
I think one of the issues that a lot of Arsenal fans have right now is the fact that they feel like the stage we're at, we need to be signing big names. And that's the thing. If it's not a big name, I agree with you that we do. But if you look at the market right now, the so-called big names that we could actually get, some of them don't want to leave their clubs. The ones that want to leave, the ones that want to leave are probably unattainable when you look at it financially, even though we can afford it. Like some of them are just like ridiculous. For example, people are talking about, I'm looking at profiles. Like if you look at our bench, right? If Thomas Partey gets injured, no. That's another option. So my thing is just at the end of the day, if Partey gets injured, we have Jorginho. Jorginho is on his last legs. I respect him. He's a very experienced player, but I can't trust enough. He did very well last season, but he's now older.
We don't need a replacement. We need a player, but does it have to be
that's what I'm saying. But when you look at the market, though, for example, when you look at the market and you're like, okay, who do we go and get? You would rather Fofana. Yep, he's not prem proven. At least one person that I can say has played in the Prem and we know has experience in the Prem and has played against us and we played against them and we saw what he did to us on the final day of the game. I'm not saying I want him, but we know that he can hit the ground running. He's in the English Premier League. Now, somebody else coming from outside like Fabio Vieira that we bought, he did very well in Portugal, came to England and has not been able to kick ball for us. So I worry about just bringing someone who, talented, great. It might take them half the season to blend with the team like Kai Havertz did. Or it might take them, but this one at least, he's in the English Premier League. He's decent.
Right on the side. Before we move on,
no, I think it'll work.
Yeah,
you have 30 seconds.
Look. This is what I'll say. I'm not saying I'm completely against the move. It doesn't get me excited. I'm like, I wouldn't be celebrating. I'm like, he could do a thing and he could exceed my expectation. He could. He's got some attributes, and as Igal said, he's still young. But for me, I think we can get else.
We gotta go on to the next one. Big up to you, Kunle.
What's up, man?
Isak, would you pay 115 million for Isak?
Yes.
Yes, bye. Good day, guys.
Yes.
Later, bro.
Yes.
Chelsea have been offered.
Brandon, change that phrase. Change that phrase, brother.
One second.
Don't do that.
1 second. Chelsea have inquired into Isak's this evening. Newcastle have told them it will cost 115 million pounds to get Isak prized away from them, and it could cost even more.
You see, this is the thing that most people don't realize, right? I was reading up on the financial side of like transfers, and there's like a whole bunch of different things that they add fees to that people don't calculate. You know, like this 115 you're talking about right now, top agents will take anything from 5 to 10%. Some of them even higher if they're like the world-class agents. So 10% of this is another 15 million pounds that will be added as an agent's fee. They're going to talk about the new contract they're going to sign with the player, which is including wages, salary, and sign-on bonus. All of this stuff is taxable, again, at 25% corporate tax in the UK. Like anything that they make that is profit. By the time you add all that's why teams back down from these kind of transactions. Most people think that they back down because they can't afford it. No, that's not the point. It's the same way. It's crazy. It's a crazy price. I would pay it. I would go ahead and get him. I think he would, and this is what I think. I think he'll do the magic because he's already in the Prem, and we've seen what he can do. We already know how we're going to be able to fit him into the team. It's not something that, okay, he needs to get used to getting used to the food in England or the places. You know what I mean? Like he's in the country. He knows the place. He's settled in. He has a home. So for me, I would get him. I would pay the price. I know it's a ridiculous amount of money to pay, but I think he moved the needle. Isak moves the needle, and if something moves the needle, I'll pay. We paid 105 for Declan Rice.
Brandon, what are you saying?
Declan Rice moves the needle. We paid 105 for him.
You're saying 100% they'll pay. One person here is saying no, he's not world class. Another person saying here, do it. Not many strikers like him in the market. 120 max. Somebody says, my man says let Chelsea make the first bid, and if they accept, we steal their March.
Yeah, we might. Yeah.
Like people. Premier League proven is huge. What are you saying, Brandon? 115 million for Isak. You doing it?
Brandon don't like the price. I see Brandon's face.
You know what? I don't know. And do you know what? Do you know what's so difficult about this? I don't look at Isak as. I think he's a good striker. I think he's a decent striker. He's definitely not worth 115 million. No way in hell is he worth 115 million.
114?
No, really and truly, I look at Isak as maybe a 70 to 75 million pound player at a maximum. But having said that, this just goes to show how poor the strikers market is right now. And the reality is Arsenal needs somebody. So, you know, based off of what Dale was just saying about the fact that he's Premier League proven, etc., I would be leaning more towards signing Isak than, you know, a Gyökeres or anybody like that.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, I don't know how. I mean,
it's sad. It's a seller's market right now, Brandon. That's the problem. The current state of football.
Any of our players.
I don't know. It's because, and this is why we can't sell any of our players. One of the problems that okay, go on, Brandon.
Isak moves the needle for Arsenal. I think he moves the needle, but I don't think he moves it that much. That's what I'm saying, Brandon. Who else can we get that will move the needle that much outside, unless we're going for like an Mbappe, right? My thing is striker out there that can genuinely move the needle for Arsenal. That you can literally go out and sign today and say, yeah, we'll win the Premier League next season. I don't think there's a striker on the market that does that for Arsenal. This is why I think, you know, when you look at the squad as a whole, it's not just the striker that we need. You know, we obviously need midfielders. I still think we definitely need a left back. So I think it's going to be a case of not so much. I mean, yes, we need a striker, we need a goal scorer, and Jesus isn't the guy. But I think also at the same time, Arsenal have got to be set. Because we're not getting a world-class level striker, we have to make sure we address the other areas in the squad as well that need improvement.
So Brandon,
one second. You get what you pay for. If we're gonna pay this type of money for Isak, Premier League proven, we've seen him score, we know what he's capable of. We're gonna get the top striker, arguably the second best striker in the Premier League right now. So that is what you're gonna get for that money. Now, if we were to go get a Victor Gyökeres or Victor Osimhen, at this moment in time, there is a much lesser fee, but a little bit more of a risk.
Yeah, I think I understand what Brandon is saying, and I agree with you, Brandon, 100%. In fact, you know what? I changed my mind. I totally agree with you because I just listened to what you said right now, and it makes a lot of sense. Here's the thing, Igal. Arsenal scored 90 goals last year in the Premiership and over 100 goals in all tournaments. Listen to this. So goal scoring was not the issue. We found a way to distribute our goals and we scored goals. One game was the difference between us winning the EPL. One game, one win. We win one game, one extra game would have gone. My question is Isak the 115 million pound player that will win us that one game? Because we also know his injury record, right? So if we strengthen in all the departments, which means we bring in another top striker like a
I'll tell you this.
Hold on, Isak, let me give you an example. Hold on.
Isak wins that home game versus West Ham.
Hold on. Let me just say this, right? Yeah, Isak, I agree with you if he's fit in that period because he was this season he could have scored more goals. He was out for majority of the while. When he came back, he still scored 20. He's a good player. Don't get me wrong, but I'm saying instead of me spending all my money in one position, I will strengthen right across the board. If you get me a striker that can give me an additional 15 GA, 16 GA in the front that can come in at any time. If Kai is not working, this person can come in and score. In the midfield, you show up the midfield again. You give me somebody there, left back. You give me somebody. And then you finally give me a Saliba cover.
You hear this comment?
You give me a Saliba cover.
It's also about moments, difference makers in the Champions League, big games, big moments, opportunities, one-on-one, through on goal, creates your own chance, can score. Many different types of
Igala, I hear you as well. But my point is
cerebral finisher. I think Isak, if anybody is going for Isak, we need to be sniffing that deal out.
Listen, I agree wholeheartedly with what you're saying, but also we've got to look at where we lost the Premier League last season, in my opinion.
Yeah,
it wasn't a lack of goals. It wasn't a lack of goals.
It wasn't down to a lack of goals.
It was a lack of rotation.
If we're being completely honest with it, lack of rotation was obviously part of it, but also Zinchenko. Arteta brought Zinchenko in for that Aston Villa game, and all the goals that we conceded came down his side. Left back is such an important position for Arsenal to address this summer. Yeah,
we have someone there now. Hopefully, he doesn't get injured again.
The final topic before we have to go. Did you guys know Emile Smith-Rowe? He's one of our lowest wage earners.
I would rather Arsenal spent less on a striker, to get a top quality left back in to make sure that we do not concede the points.
What if Timber?
We already have Timber. Timber is our left back for this season. He was supposed to be left back last season.
Guys, I need to move on to the final topic of the video.
I think Timber will do well. I mean, we've seen him.
I need to move on to the final topic before we wrap up because we're going to be going to Never a Foul in a second. I just want to say, big up Brendan for joining. Big up Deo. Big up everybody who's joined us for today's video. Please do hit the like button, guys. It's absolutely free. It doesn't cost a penny, and it helps the channel massively. If you're watching on Twitter, come join us on YouTube where we do these videos on a daily basis. Today, I just popped it on Twitter because I felt like it. But here we go. The final topic of the day. You guys know Emile Smith-Rowe has 40K a week on his wages, and his wages would be quite easy for any of these teams like Palace or Fulham to match or even double for him. He's could potentially be Arsenal's record sale in the summer, as Arsenal are looking at about 40 million if they were to sell Emile Smith-Rowe. Now, I put out a tweet just a minute ago saying that 40 million for Emile Smith-Rowe should be cheap, especially with the fact that he's on a reasonable wage package. But people are laughing, saying that's delusional, that's crazy. Don't you think 40 million for Emile Smith-Rowe is quite reasonable?
In this current market, yes, it's reasonable. Look, like I've been saying, the market is inflated, and we all know it. Let's not act like. I mean, who are the player that PSG just signed for 90 million? Kolo Muani or something, Mulani, Kolo, yeah, something like. The market is inflated. Let's call a spade and not a garden utensil. It is what it is. People are, everybody's requesting for a ridiculous amount. I mean, Aston Villa are requesting. They were saying 40 million for Duran. He played 52 minutes. Or how many minutes did he play? Like, what are we talking about here? This guy played 52 minutes, and they're asking for. They should. I'm like, are you guys for real? I'd walk out of that laughable. It is what it is. So you're better off starting high, saying 40, and maybe eventually getting to a 35 or say 30 plus 5 million in add-ons, and then his agent can negotiate his new salary with them and whatever the case is and his new package deal. But my thing is, we need to get rid of this batch of players and then restructure how we sell our players going forward. We need to do that. We need to take a loss on some of them. I mean, I don't care. Eddie Nketiah out for 25. I don't care. Smith Rowe out for 30. I don't care.
This is the biggest mistake Mikel is making. Eddie Nketiah for 15 now is someone in the boardroom smoking weed, and then you got
Duran of Aston Villa is 40 million. Rodney,
it will be
explain
25 million max.
Yeah, but you start high and they'll negotiate. That's the whole idea. You set your price. It's a seller's market. Set your price and let them come. Let them come and say, "Look, guys, that's way too much, man. We'll take it."
Fulham have made Emile Smith-Rowe their number one priority signing of the summer. Why are we going to give them a deal?
It's not even just about whether they made him the price signing. The point is, you set your price and then you negotiate from there. To sit there and not set your price and sit and say, okay, well, because if you set the price at 20, they'll negotiate you down to 10. Whatever price you set, they're going to still negotiate down. They're not going to be like, oh, you want to give me Eddie for 15 million? Here's 15. They'll be like, can we get him for 10 instead then? Since you valued him at 15, they're going to come down. So the point is, just say to yourself, we know that we want to sell Eddie for 25 or 30, but we'll say 50. And then we can add a pylon of.
If an Aston Villa striker who barely played is getting a £40 million offer from Chelsea, we should be able to get Emile Smith-Rowe 40 million. Like, what do we?
Yeah, Duran, what's his name? The guy played for like how many?
At least, Brendan, you agree with me here. Edu and these guys, they're actually for once saying, you know what, come correct if you're gonna come for our player.
My big fear, Igal, is if nobody then comes for them, then we're still going to end up with these guys on the bench next season.
But something?
So my thing is, like I said,
his wages are so good that I could see a Crystal Palace or Fulham throwing us some money at the end of the window that is reasonable.
I hear you.
Reece Nelson and Eddie Nketiah are on 100K a week. That's different. This guy's on 40.
Never have happened in the first place. I said it when them two signed their deals. Should never have happened in the first place, and this is the problem. In terms of Smith Rowe, though, I reckon we could
get. The reason why we gave him 40 million is because we gave him the number 10 shirt.
We could get between 35 and 40 million. I actually think that if Smith Rowe was to go to a Fulham, a Crystal Palace, I think you'd see a different Smith Rowe altogether. I actually think this kid here, if he could stay fit, I think we've outgrown Emile Smith Rowe. I don't think it warrants us keeping him, but I do still think he'll be a top player in the Premier League.
I think we've outgrown a lot of players, to be fair. Zinchenko, Ramsdale.
Yeah, Ramsdale.
Even you could say, arguably, some players like Thomas Partey and Jesus.
Yeah, Jay's.
I think you also have to, like I said, Igal, you also have to factor in how these clubs kind of do their breakdowns. If Arsenal is looking to say at the end of the day, because here's what is going to happen. You do know that the rule in the Premiership with transfers is whatever you make as profit on a player, which is called an asset, is what you pay taxes on. So, for example, Smith Rowe is an academy player, which means that we're going to pay 25% of whatever they buy him for in taxes. So that money is not literally like Arsenal is not going to be making as much.
Yeah, which we get three times.
No, like that's no. I know, no. Don't get me wrong. What I'm saying is there's other fees that will also be added. So agent fees, for example, which is 10% of that 40 million or that 50 million. 50 million, that's $5 million, which will be paid by both clubs. 2.5 million extra. So by the time you add, I'm just saying by the time they hear what I'm saying, by the time you add all that to it, the other club usually the prices that they're going to pay out of pocket is not just the 50, it comes out to close to 80 to 100 plus salaries of the player and the new contract. So that club is always valuing it that way, like, oh, let's try to down negotiate so that way when we do our own new contract and we add it, we're still under like a 75 or 80. It's all dependent on what they want to spend as well. So I think setting it at 50, but leaving it open to negotiations is a good thing, because at the end of the day, hey, you know, if nobody comes for him, then we're stuck with him. We're stuck with the player.
Bro, we're gonna have to wrap it up here because we're gonna go on never a foul. But I'm just gonna say this: if Emile Smith-Rowe sold for 40 million, that's 120 million in our profit and sustainability. That's 3 times whatever you sell a pure profit player for. Brendan, thank you for joining me. Deo, thank you for joining me. Everyone, please do go raid Never a Foul's chat right now, as we are about to go over there. Me and Deo are going to go join them. Mons is going to be hosting. I'll catch you guys in a bit. Love for watching, guys. And hopefully, when I have some Arsenal news, I'll let you know. Today, it was just kind of a small little panel show to have a little easy discussion about everything that's going about. But I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.